We're different here. We don't just get up for another day. We rise. We don't just work. We endeavor. We're women and men for and with others. We have hope, we believe, and we celebrate. Why are we different?
So we can be the difference.
Every good show must come to an end, but not with one grand finale, as we return for one last match of the night, day, whenever you're deciding to watch this broadcast, because we have been here, and well, I gotta say, each one has been its own show to beginning to end. I'm using _Intel, your play-by-play caster here, still joined by the wonderful Kilo Miles, who has been giving so many big brain analysis.
Thank you very much, Intel. And we have one more game to big brain analyze. We've got the University of Hawaii taking on Marquette University. Now, this is going to be quite the interesting one because we've been seeing like heavy hitters go at it for a while. University of Hawaii and Marquette, not quite there. I mean, University of Hawaii just barely through a map differential, which, by the way, that's why it matters so much, slipped into the playoffs last year, and they got some good upsets, but like, it is not always, they're not always at the top of their game, you know what I mean? But they've been looking a lot cleaner going into this. I mean, time and time again, Hawaii has just been leveling up over there on that island of theirs. They have been growing stronger and stronger, and they are looking to showcase that, well, tonight. But they're going up against Marquette, and the first person they are sending out is Chico, who, I delight to inform you, is a Donkey Kong player.
Oh. All my energy. I must bring it all to rise. I've been trying to conserve it continuously, but it's monkey o'clock. All right, it's time, and that's what you need to understand, Killer Miles. All right, the grappler, the person with like 4 to 5 different type of spikes, is ready to come in, and now you've got my excitement. But more than anything, I'm very excited to see how Hawaii are going to be showing their progress. You were 100% right talking about how much their team has changed going back and forth throughout the series. And, well, now to see them in a new one, I think this is going to be kind of a stage for them to show if it's going to be a consistency.
Yeah, we're going to have to see that. As overall, I don't hate Donkey Kong Online. I think it can be a little tight in the execution, but like overall, I think he benefits a lot from being able to pick an option and call out, I don't hate DK. I don't hate DK. These false rumors.
Yeah.
I don't hate DK. No, I really do feel like the fact that you called out the spikes, and while I don't think that is DK's entire game plan, I feel like the ability to mix up your movement a lot, specifically B reverse down B, I don't remember what exactly it's called. I call it the bongos, but just, it's such a good mix up. It's like a little aerial dash dance. Most people are not ready to have a DK retreating. They're like, okay, this character's not that fast. I can run and hit them, and then boom, they are spiked. They're eating 70. Like,
I mean, you're absolutely right. It's not the kind of early start to what the Donkey Kong is, but it is one of those things that you kind of have to pay attention to. That not everybody's always utilizing it, and it does change for how that style works. Donkey Kong is not one of those stronger, heavy characters. I'll be honest with you, not even, I think, one of the top 5 if I go down a list. However, the monkey is ready to go ape. May not have bananas, but is looking to get some good victories and stocks out of here. All right, that's what we got to be hungry for, Kilo Miles.
Oh yeah, we are. As looking at University of Hawaii, they're sending in Not Christian, who I regret to say I can't quite remember who they play, but I do know they are a little bit newer. They weren't on the original roster. My heart keeps saying PT, but I think they just have so many. They've got 2 PTs already, and I'm blanking here. I know Tempest is on the PT, and their Captain Gray on the PT is a terror. They've got, honestly, I'm looking down the roster of Hawaii, and I want to say all of them are terrifying in their own way. Darth Wampa is often their upset maker with a extremely consistent link that just has a solid baseline. Then they've got their clutch players. They have the 2 PTs, like I mentioned. They got Pyro on the duck hunt out of nowhere coming in. Pyro last week put on a show on this duck hunt. And then finally, they have Volt, who I wanted to shout out. Oh my gosh. Volt plays Cloud at a pace that not many Clouds actually play at. Like, looking akin to the olden days. Cloud is on and off those platforms constantly, getting those fallen up airs, sometimes setting up with an air, but okay, it's mostly the up airs.
Okay, fair enough, and I'll definitely give you that. A lot of Clouds, I think, often struggle to find that good sweet spot of when to move in, when to rely on your big power-up ability, and then when to go a little bit more passive. So my eyes will be analyzing not only the footwork, but how much that limit breaker will be utilized. Often we see people throw it out so that it can come right back. It's basically a rotating ability.
Yeah, it is, well, pretty impactful. And I do want to shout out the fact that University of Hawaii has just been getting better and better and better throughout all this. As we get into it, and oh man, how did I forget this? I'm actually not sure what's happening here. I think that must be Chico. Yeah, okay. Hey, I got the series right. But going up against Game & Watch, it's going to be incredibly difficult. If I will say one thing, Game & Watch is an incredibly light character. K-Roll only has to guess right twice. It's like that Incineroar matchup we watched earlier.
I mean, fair enough, and, let's give some love at least when it comes down to the K-Roll, though it is an interesting matchup, especially going up against this Game & Watch. We've seen the Game & Watches all night thrive in these sort of fights. The counter helping out a little, though not going to be getting too many benefits. Chico 100% just looking to try to get some slashes, but with their short range, it just seems not Christian is able to just thrive a lot. Not gonna be able to get a lot when it comes to the bucket, but even then the slam is more than enough to make up for it.
You only need one call out. That's what I said. And now, after avoiding that bury, they're going to be able to slip right on the ledge, question mark. Can they get on the ledge? They just keep getting 2-framed by this chef. Eventually, they drop the chef, hoping to find the kill, and they do find the chair, but not before they eat 19%. Not bad, not bad. Not Christian bringing this back. With the jab, now things are starting to get a little bit heavier as they get their jump red with that up smash, or down smash, rather.
As we see, just continuing to move forward, well, wanting to get this damage, and I'm liking the fact as the priorities are there for the juggles, making sure that Chico doesn't have much room to get back in, though the recovery is one of the better for the heavy characters. This is what Game & Watch always works with. Same joke as you said before, not playing the game, you're just sitting there watching Chico try to get back on the stage.
Yep. As that time they're actually able to snap the ledge, which, given their armor, given their weight, lets them just slip right through that chef. As again, the boxing glove is the answer. Oh no.
I mean, you gotta be impressed. Although it seems that the bomb evens it up. Chico, surprisingly, has just been the one to find these stocks very early on, and maybe it's because of the boxing glove, maybe it's because of the series. I think this is where the Game & Watch needs to get a little bit more clever with the usage. Get these confirms much quicker.
Ooh, now the Nair trains come out. Now, K-Roll does have a tool to land with that Nair. Damages the belly armor just a tiny bit, but it gets you out of those up air strings. Now here comes the chef again. Not spacing at roll distance, but the get up attack, that's fine as, Chico maybe got their jump stolen there, I think. I thought it was a get up attack, but they might have tried to jump from ledge right there.
We're gonna need a replay on that. All right, so let's get this analyzed. We see it go in, get slapped.
Bye.
No recovery.
Okay.
The remote's died? Question mark.
We'll figure it out at some other later point.
I mean, you're 100% right. So at least going back into the match and we get a moment to figure out what exactly went on. We can go frame by frame.
Yeah, we are trying our best to figure it out. It's
I
not
think we're at a
looking
loss
like
for words.
But either way, even without that one death, Chico was able to mostly keep it even by finding the ways around Game & Watch's pressure and killing the Balloon Man at, like, it was like at 40 both times. Like, here, we'll probably be able to see one of them clipped here as, yeah, 40. Like I said, wow, look at me. Even from center stage, you obliterate them with the right read. You're at like 55 at the ledge and you just get dunked on. However, if you try and get on top of Game & Watch when you're not prepared to get those kills, that is where the problems begin.
I mean, you gotta give it up. Chico definitely showing, I feel, when it comes to the second round, that boxing glove is gonna be a bigger threat as long as they just hopefully remember to jump back on, have your controller charged up and ready. The Game & Watch definitely needing, I think that's also the continuous issue that we've seen throughout the entire night. A lot of these Game & Watch don't get the first kill, and that's been a continuous problem.
It really has, and that, honestly, that comes down to any time there's a, well, a bit of a discrepancy in the neutral game. Have you noticed that whenever we see someone like go up like 90% unanswered and they don't immediately get the kill afterwards, that they're usually the ones who die? Like, having that low percent bonus seems like a good thing, and it is, but you've got to find ways to make that up. Now, obviously, this time Not Christian definitely did towards the end right there. Like, they had every option covered, and K-Rool just did not want to try and get off that ledge.
I mean, it's just what K-Rool's going to be able to get away with. They have a really good recovery. They have a counter, so getting back on that stage, well, you run the risk of, well, getting hit. So I can definitely see the ideas and why that K-Rool came to pop out, though. You know, I'm on my knees and I'm begging. My name is Monkey, username Intel, and I am looking to see if we can get a side B with a fist to the face. There is nothing more than the Monkey O'Clock looking to be here, okay? The time is now.
Time is here, the time is now. And, well, I'll be honest, I think the DK would do even worse. While you might have some more kill confirms, yeah, I would stick to the K-Rool just because you think if K-Rool is bad trying to, you know, go from under the stage, then, oh, going straight to ledge right here? Maybe a lag check? No, this is the game. Okay, yeah, Not Christian seemed a little bit hesitant there too, but once Chico perked their aggro, then they got that. I like that upwards angle right there. Would have catched any aerials dropping through that platform. But now it's just time for that. Ooh, the belly armor gets them out of that chain.
Need to be incredibly careful. We just see as Chico's looking to break down that shield with heavy hitting attacks as Not Christian, once again, setting up for these aerials, looking to just force them into the sky. However, that's not going to be going too well as Chico brings up the boxing glove and is waiting for you to reach that as looking to slam you down, but then the aerial combos come back out. Chico keeping up the the points up to even. And unfortunately, gonna be landing off on the edge. This is where we see the hammers go down.
Yeah, nice little forward air right there. Trying to cover this ledge. Ooh! They belly armor through the up B, but good drift away from Not Christian and not be caught by that. That time, ooh, Not Christian not in the position to get that chef. And they beat out the up B again. They're just calling out so much with this belly armor, and I have to assume the durability is getting a little low. But hey, I don't think it's been hit by the strongest of moves quite yet.
I definitely agree, though, with this grab. It could set up for a very early kill as they've been looking for, especially with the follow-up. But, I mean, they're still on the edge, getting the counter on their bomb. making sure that it doesn't go off, and they're basically going to be fine. It's Christian who's being the one on the edge, who's basically playing defensive and is the one being launched off more often than not. Chico is still ready to try and land it out, but missing on that hit. May be coming back at them as we see the belly doing so much on the defensive super armor, and yet at 213, that's going to be where it goes down. Game and Watch now taking the lead in the series, but at a big risk as it's an immediate pickoff.
Such a huge call out right there. And now you are going to be taking some damage, but hey, K-Roll, you're used to it. You're used to starting your stocks at 79 because we've seen what you can do with that rage. Now, just forward airing that bomb to get off a ledge, and finally you're able to reclaim center stage. And now, not Christian's at kill percent if they mess up here. Down here, though, not going to be it. Ooh, belly arming through that again.
Yep, just relying heavily. Though it seems the belly's doing a lot of work, it's eventually not enough as Chico now falling down to that one stock. Needs to be able to start bringing it back as not Christian is making the difference.
Yeah, they certainly are. Going for that dash tag right there, but it's just going to be more up airs for me, thank you. It's just a couple little touches right here. Getting the drag down again. Not Christian. Doing a fantastic job of not overextending this time. It was the overextensions that got them the kills before, but that down air going to be beat out by the up air? Hold on, let me do some math on that. Trigonometry, yeah, it adds up.
All right, fair enough. You know, Sakurai coded this game, so I'm definitely going to take it at their word. But look at this, Chico at 95. Not Christian maybe at that one stock, but looking to just kind of bait in some resources. Manages to force them off the stage. The recovery comes in, looking to just stop them from getting too much. But look at that beautiful counter, knowing what their opponent's going to do. However, not getting that kill. Christian at 47. That's the kill percentage when it comes to the boxing glove. Now looking to throw them off the stage, trying to finish them off, but not getting it. Needs to be extremely careful going up against Spence, but just barely knocking it out. That comes extremely close. 1 feet away, we see the bomb. They are still needing to look for this grab. If they want anything, and the key is not going to be the answer.
Yeah, that time the key winning out, as you would think it should. But the down smash, oh, that's not going to kill quite yet. But now you've got to recover against Game & Watch. Oh, going all the way down with the back air. There was a nice angle. The key doesn't kill yet again, but another one just might. You've got to get off against the chef. You beat right through the bomb. Now there's an opportunity. This time the bomb explodes. Detonation. And Chico goes down. Not Christian taking the first game from University of Hawaii.
I've got to say, that came incredibly close down the wire up to 3 different times of just trying to break it through. And I'm glad not Christian able to secure it, as Chico basically had to be the engager. So, I mean, at any second, if Christian just, you know, hesitated and decided not to try and attack, I definitely feel Chico would have brought it in. And I feel like that face is definitely the reaction Chico has in their heart right now.
Oh, you know it indeed is. Ooh, they get that uppy there. Yeah, overall, like, not Christian, they recognized what the flaw in their gameplay was, and it was just, I wouldn't even call it a flaw. You're just not used to knowing when you can challenge the belly armor. Like, there were some incidents where they, like, again, I was thinking of the key into the up air, where they just continued to find the way down. And I said that Chico had a way down, but not Christian demonstrating there that if you armor through one up air, you can literally throw out another up air before you can get another move out.
Honestly, completely true.
The key! Yeah, let's go frame by frame right here.
Dirty person. Just look at that.
Okay. Key coming down. Key is below them. And K-Roll extends the crown up. Ooh. Perfect right there.
Look at that. Landing with the LOL.
Deserved.
Very deserved.
Because you might have lost, but you won in the clip battle. I mean, come on. That's... Either way, not a huge lead for University of Hawaii, but I know University of Hawaii generally doesn't play for these huge leads. A lot of their wins come down very close, but what they do is they just slowly overtake you as time goes on. And I know they love to build, their strategy is to build a lead early on. So I expect the next player to be a heavy hitter as well, a real power player. And I mean, if I had to pick a name out of the hat, I'd say Gray. Let me see. No, it's going to be Darth Wampa. That's who I called out a Link player who has gotten some mighty big upsets. I think over Katsuji at one point, another very prominent player in the EGF. In general, Darth Wampa just a very consistent game plan that works in all conditions against pretty much all characters, and they're going to be putting on a clinic.
Ooh, it's going to be an interesting matchup, especially with what's been working out. I'm more interested, though, to see kind of the capabilities that they're going to be having, especially the matchups. You have a bit more knowledge when it comes down to these players. So, what's a hypothetical that you can see happening?
Well, we're going to have to wait a second. They're just going straight in. No hand warmers from Hawaii?
Yep, they don't even care. Actually going with the Captain Falcon and the Link.
Yeah. So this was a hand warmer. Okay. Now, we're probably going to run back to cameras real quick, but yeah, this right here, FRUD is going to be on the Captain Falcon. Now, this is interesting because I do not expect Darth Wampa to play a complete zoning game. They are not your standard Wi-Fi Link. However, if they do try and play keep away, Captain Falcon can go in on them, can get commitments, but if you go in, you are going in. Captain Falcon in this game, not the best turnaround animation. Their skid takes forever. They like slide all the way into you, and it's, you know, very momentum based. It's like actually trying to steer a car on a dime, and that honestly is much to Captain Falcon's detriment. They find way. You need to be confident when you go in, and you need to get your hit, because otherwise there's no going out except on the other end of your opponent's blade.
You know, definitely agree, and even then I feel that the form of Link that we're going to be looking at is not really those true zoner type, definitely going to be having those annoying setups, and I'm more interested to see how the bomb will work against a character who's continuously going to be running at them. I mean, we saw something similar when it came down to the Diddy Kong and the Incineroar matchup. I mean, grabbing the bananas was incredibly useful, so being able to grab the bomb, I mean, I don't know how useful that'll be. You can throw it away from yourself and have a lot more room to be safe, but it's a flip of a coin.
Yeah, I feel like that's not going to be as impactful in this matchup. What you've really got to keep your eye on, again, is where the Link positions themselves. Because Link does do very well underneath and around these platforms. Falling through the platform with the back air, honestly, a amazing back air. The fact that it combos, I don't think it kills, but it's just a great get-off-me tool. But speaking of get-off-me tools, if you run in and you don't get a dash grab, you do something unsafe on that shield, you're going to get nared into a nair, into a nair, into whatever else Link can imagine. Because that nair, so much priority on that move. As you can see, just beating out Captain Falcon's nair when the hitbox just doesn't last quite long enough. And it gets you out of combos, too.
They're already getting in. Darth is just looking to, or at least take their time, getting a nice boomerang to hopefully find out FRUD, but they're still playing a big game of spacies, of just not wanting to fully commit to each other as that bomb lies onto the left side, now getting set up. Young Link unable to fully confirm it. Hey, what did I say? They're going to be using it a lot to be throwing it away, as FRUD is not really able to get too many hits.
Yeah, not too much right away. As you can see, trying to play a very safe game, but that time no nair. They don't want to risk it, because if you DI it in and tried to nair, you could have just gotten kneed. and that would have been brutal. So good awareness, good defensive play from Darth Wampa to escape that combo. Now the gentleman will send you straight off. Ooh, air dodging right through that stomp, and you know they were looking for another one, but not going to receive it this time. The arrow sniping from across the stage right there as the Nair just slides right on off, and Frod's like, okay, I got no jump, you got me. GG's.
Yeah, I definitely feel Fraud needs to be getting these aerials, or definitely a lot more grabs. Very scared of the boomerang, and you know, I'll respect it. Link is a very dangerous character now, having the arrows just to be able to catch these shots out. We're seeing Fraud just look to be able to get these hits, not going to be looking to confirm anything too quick as we see the bomb throw out, missing a little bit too far, but the guard is there, and the second swipe more than enough to find the second stock.
And now they rush on in, trying to get this edge guard, or ledge trap rather, but right as they go for the hug, that's when they are, well, eluded. Darth Wampa, good awareness on when to go for these options, landing with the down air right there. There's going to be even more chunky damage. And there are a lot of moves in Ultimate that feel chunky. Knee and Link's up air and down air. Oh my god, when you get hit by them, you can feel it in your soul.
I agree, but Fraud isn't really getting too many moves to be able to play this Captain Falcon, just as Darth runs up, missing on the grab. Interesting aerial, and it seems the up smash is more than enough as Fraud gets sent over to the screen, and Darth takes the lead in this series.
Yeah, I mean, the Triforce of 3 stocks right here coming out big. Darth Wampa just stuffed out every approach this Captain Falcon wanted to go through, and just it didn't feel like they were overwhelming them. It felt like Fraud in their engages was just being overwhelmed in themselves. Like, they pick an option, and Darth Wampa is already there covering it. It's not like Darth Wampa is on top of them, like, say, maybe Young Link would be. No, it feels like Darth Wampa is just always in position. Like, Darth Wampa was already in position to cover that jump from ledge, and obviously their falling there would have covered neutral get up too, but still just impressive. And always, the fact that Darth Wampa doesn't overextend either means they're always in position to dash back and up smash or something like that.
You know, you're absolutely right. So, you know, I'm definitely wanting to see a little bit more of that aggression or Fraud just to kind of play, you know, with that full confidence. Gave Darth a lot of room. Almost felt like they were just watching their opponent more than trying to take them out half the time.
And it happens. It happens because Link has a habit of just, like, he's not like some zoners who completely control the ground game, but maybe you can approach a little from the air, or they completely control the air, but hey, maybe if you play low profile, you can get close to it. No, Link just has a good spread. I'd say out of all the zoners, probably one of the most well-rounded. The aggression can feel a little wanting at times, but as you can see, if you find the right DI, you can still get some good punishes. Yeah, you're getting right off that Falcon. You want some disjoint.
Now, we'll see if this matchup looking any different as we see Fraud onto the Roy, and the style is new. Already looking sword versus sword. However, one is going to be having the counterplay, at least when it comes to the boomerangs. Little lag, but nothing too much to worry about as we see the Roy now being forced off, luckily able to get on top of the stage, but is still struggling against the versatility when it comes to the Link.
Yeah, they got that one little string at the beginning, but now they're in kind of a world of hurt. Ooh, I love just naring towards the ledge. You cover the, you can just fast fall immediately and cover the roll away, or you can just wait. Now, they get that up B, send them off. Oh, and they two-frame them with the bomb. Now you just fall right back to ledge. You're like, okay, let me reset this situation. The spot dodge, though, gonna be not even interacted with, just rolling right on through that. It's the up tilt, not gonna do it. Not overcommitting, again, too. Always staying below their opponent. That's what I love to see from Darth Wampa.
Yeah, I absolutely agree, though. Look at this. The Roy, so determined to stay in this fight, no matter what. Is looking for these slashes, still having to play very hesitantly. The up B being punished so quickly, needing to play a lot more cautious, even getting hit with the bomb afterwards.
This little arrow interaction right there, interrupting the up B as well. Frud sent off again. Darth Wampa looking for a repeat, a rerun of their previous 3-stock. But Frud doesn't want to let this happen. On Town and City, Roy can kill shockingly early. The blast zones are so close to the side. I'm surprised, yeah, that back air will kill. I was like, there's no way that didn't kill. Yeah.
Yep. Just look as we see a beautiful slam, though. Fraud being at such a dangerous choice. Though they missed the aerial, we see the slam, we see the knocks. They need to be careful as that miss slash is going to be leading into them being grabbed, and the bomb launching them so far away. They're able to get back, but they're not able to win the sword duel as we see Darth winning it all.
Yeah, Darth Wampa does drop a stock in the end. Frud showing some definite improvement on the new character, but ultimately couldn't lay a finger on the hero of Hyrule. As we can see exactly why, just trading out these hits. And Darth Wampa, again, it felt like they were always just one step ahead. It didn't feel like they were like 3 steps ahead, setting up these complicated traps or anything like that. No, they were just in position to punish. And I think they just never left position. Like, it wasn't that they like ran to this new, it's just that they were always in a place where if their read was wrong, they were able to adjust. Like, when you jump up to cover a jump from ledge, for example, you could easily fast fall that in air and cover a neutral get up too.
You know, absolutely agree. Just feel, you know, no matter what was going on, the Roy not able to keep up with the pace and was definitely walking at a slower path. So now, as Hawaii take the lead, they're looking good, definitely having a solid start moving forward.
Yeah, and that, I mean, like I said, Hawaii loves to build an early lead, where that if they notice themselves like a comeback coming up, they're like, okay, we then have Gray to send in right at the end as our anchor. And honestly, very good strategy. I think Hawaii puts more thought into like their actual strategy than most of the other teams. Like, a lot of people have very good player-to-player head-to-heads, but in terms of actually playing the EGF like a team sport, I think Hawaii might be top tier.
I don't want to say you're wrong, but I think it's too early to say that. We still have so many more matches to go through. Not so many more matches. I mean, that was the first one.
Yeah, and they
I'm
are
losing it, man.
They're overwhelming them again. We've got the captain coming. I'm like, they'll save Gray for the end. But they have so many people who could be the anchor. Darth Wampa could be the anchor. Volt could be the anchor. I think Volt usually is. Tempest could be the anchor. And sometimes it's Gray. But this time Gray is coming in right in this center game to try and make sure that this is unwinnable. If Volt wins with 6 points, and that's a double 2-stock or 1 3-stock and a 1-stock, then it's game over. And even if they don't get that, they still set up a scenario in which you need to win perfect games. You're probably not going to win perfect 8-stock games or 6-stock games against the University of Hawaii. So as long as they put you in that situation, they've more or less secured their win condition.
Ooh, really good point. You know, you spin facts that I didn't even think about very quickly. So as we get the button check in, I believe for Hawaii, they're going to be following in that momentum, but they're going to be looking to go a lot further as this series continues to move on.
Well, as a drag race apparently happens outside my house, we are going to be seeing Tiny come in for Marquette University, and they're running the Jigglypuff. Now, not only am I an expert in Jigglypuff, because I used to play her for a long time, but they also have been a traditional counterpick character against the University of Hawaii. Now, Hawaii, we should mention, does have a little bit of a slower connection given that they are very far away. So some players will literally have different characters that they play in certain team matchups depending on the distance. Hawaii has been counterpicked with Jigglypuff like a couple times, and it's always been a little bit like, oh, that was out of nowhere. But like Thitko, who we saw earlier today on the Pikachu, they counterpicked Jigglypuff. And so we'll see how Tiny's Jigglypuff is able to do for Marquette, and if that counterpick has more foundation than we expected.
Ooh, definitely a fair play, and I'm more interested to see how this is going to be working out. I definitely loving your name also with the Jiggly connoisseur. The more of my mind is going off of the hypothetical. I think the more that this goes on, the more frustrated I get because, well, I want to see these players go head to head. And my brain is so focused on, you saying that there was a monkey going to be played, but, no Donkey Kong ever ravishing my heart.
Yeah.
Truly.
I do want to say, going up against Gray, Pokemon Trainer is a very difficult matchup for Jigglypuff. Dealing with tether recoveries in general is doable with Nair. Nair can work, but you don't get your, guaranteed, I get Nair into grab into forward throw, and, I might just get a kill. No, that doesn't usually happen, especially players like Gray, who are very good at conserving their resources off stage. You're not going to get those early kills that you often see. Now, there are other ways to go about it. I mean, Ivysaur is prime material for down air rest. For some reason, okay, I cannot tell you why. Down air rest works on characters of the same size and shape as Jigglypuff. Anyone small, stout, and round like Wario, like Herbie, and like Ivysaur. Down air rest just works really well on. I cannot tell you why, I just know it does.
I mean, it's just what the Puff thrives on, especially if you go back and you watch Hungry Box's series where, he takes a look at the legendary Jigglypuff player. You can get away with a lot, though. Often I don't see players pick that Jigglypuff. More of use that rest unless they feel 100% certain that they can get away with it. And even then, it's still a risky move at higher percentage.
Yeah, it is. You know it. I feel like in this matchup, you don't want to throw it out all the time. And it's been a while since I've seen Tiny Jigglypuff too. I feel like it all comes down to the edge guards. Squirtle can be edge guarded. It's tough, but if you're able to catch Squirtle off stage and they're forced to go to Ivysaur, then you have a chance. I mean, Ivysaur in general, I feel like is the best for dealing with Jigglypuff. When you see top Puffs like Base Mage go up against top Pokemon trainers, they would usually just go Ivysaur and play around the tether recovery, play around the fact that they can get Razor Leaf into up B sometimes. It can be brutal when you find these massive kill confirms, and again, one of the craziest anti-airs in the game in the form of up air as well.
I mean, you're absolutely right. It's going to be interesting to see what they do, especially, Jigglypuff's own zoning and ways to kind of counteract when it goes out into these fights. Now, this is where we're going to be able to see finally the moment for them to strike out. Jigglypuff versus the Pokemon trainer. We have to see what it thrives on as immediately switching over to the Ivysaur. Though you see Tiny looking to immediately break in that damage or just kind of juggle themselves around. Unfortunately, they are being caught out when it comes to this Ivysaur's range. The rest...
I'm sorry, Tiny, I lied to you, but that was just a little bit of misspacing. You could see Gray was way on the other side as the extension with the forward smash. They're able to steal that stock away almost instantly. Now Tiny's playing at a deficit. I am happy to see that Tiny is from the new school of playing Jigglypuff, heavily favored around that down air, at least at lower percents. Probably Jigglypuff's best move overall, as... now they're just getting that Nair to send them off stage, and they're able to interrupt the tether as well, forcing the Charizard switch, but a very good low recovery, fast falling down. That's aggressive to do, but it worked. It paid off.
Absolutely agree, as we see Graze onto the Charizard, not only for the recovery, but looking to try to throw this Puff Ball as far away as possible. Tiny is going to be having that struggling match, though, being able to dodge like a smooth criminal and coming back with a fiery vengeance. Though that flamethrower stops them from being able to fully commit into the fight. Jigglypuff Tiny is there, and the fire strike sends you back into the screen.
No nonsense from Gray. I thought they might just die somehow. Sometimes it just happens with Charizard at full rage. You just die, as Here we go. Back to the Ivysaur for these mid percents. And you can see, again, down air at low percents. They're not quite confident in the loop, so they just go for the guaranteed damage of down air fair and hoping to extend the combo from there. Tiny has been a little aggressive thus far. I mean, with going for these down airs. But at this point, you've got to play the odds. You've got to try your best to get a low percent kill. Hopefully you can get the Gimp. We saw them very much prepared to interrupt the tether before, force the Charizard switch, and if they're just a little more aggressive off of that switch, they might get a little more. Using that shield pressure right there to get a nair right off of that option. This could be a kill right here if you're able to. No, I like that. Not going off switch.
I absolutely agree. The Ivysaur getting a bit more range, but look at that! Forcing it back to the stop per stock scenario, switching over to the Squirtle. No, back to the Ivysaur, wanting to keep that range advantage when it comes down to the fight. Tiny's taking a considerable amount of damage. He's almost launched off the stage, able to easily recover back in, but needs to be careful. Only has so many jumps and is being caught by the small whips of Vine. Once again, knocking them off. They have to use the side special, just barely being able to shield dance up onto the stage. Tiny, you're living a dangerous life.
You have to know where to find this kill right now. A rest confirm will kill, but falling through the up air. Oh, yeah, that's gonna obliterate that little balloon. As Tiny, it looked like they had the momentum for just a moment, but then Gray came right back on in swinging. And overall, there was a lot to go with there. Yeah, they got... I mean, that is the Pokemon Trainer Classic. Down air into up air, baby.
It's just what Ivysaur works so good with, and it's exactly what I like. As much as, you know, my friend, I have a friend named Tiny, ironically enough, who plays in Jigglypuff, so I at least have some good knowledge when it comes down to it. You have to be quick when it comes down to these kills, and that rest would have been so powerful. Unfortunately, the shield was just there. Most players, I think, are very cautious of it, you know, always wanting to make sure they don't get caught out by it. The only time you'll ever get hit is if you're rested or not prepared.
And I do love the use of that dash tech too. As I said, definitely a lot more use of the down air here. Good shield pressuring tool, but it feels like a lot of the time they're not quite safe spacing around these projectiles. As we saw, there was that one time where they got hit by the down air, Razor Leaf up B, and it almost just killed them. Dead instantly. They were just gone.
I mean, I agree. This is our third match, second. I've lost track. I think my mind has been captured.
Yes, this is our third match. Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. For the third match, I gotta say, they are making sure to still shine it through. How are these players able to keep up so much energy throughout these games? I feel like just after the first one, I would have been already so tired that round, but even then, they're coming back stronger than ever. So when we get to see this Puff start shining through against the Pokemon Trainer once more, I think it's going to be very fun to watch.
Yeah, starting out on going to Pokemon Stadium 2 now. Playing very much around these platforms. You do not want to cross this center stage, this no man's land. And I love that. Baiting out an option out of shield with down air, drifting away, and then getting a pound. Unfortunately, grounded pound. You can't really combo off of that. But Gray now is playing their game. Falling through these platforms, using their platform movement. And anytime it feels like Tiny isn't coming in, they're like, you have to approach me, remember? Look at this Razor Leaf. But there's the approach. Oh, I think they stole the jump right there, and they're just dead. The Nair being the finisher right there as Tiny gets the edge guard they need, and this could be big. Baiting up B too. That could have been a big punish, but they weren't quite ready for it, floating a little bit too far away.
I mean, Tiny landing the beeps, managing to knock that off and take the early stop, forcing the Charizard as a form to manage to get back in. But look at this, Tiny making sure to keep their spacing in, not wanting to overstep their boundaries against a person who can easily take you off, and yet still forcing them off the stage. They'll eventually being able to come back. Tiny oversteps their boundaries a little bit too much. Now they have an opportunity for a good rest kill. It may be worth it, especially being on that third stock. However, we have to see what happens.
It could be possible, but at this point, I think you're just going for a good, clean kill. Watching out for these back airs and forward tilts, but it's going to be the dash tech that finds the initial opening. But again, that won't kill. It's the forward tilt, that tipper right there, and the back air. The tip of the tail, that's what you've always got to be watching out for.
I absolutely agree, but now Tiny really doesn't have too much to worry about. We already see as they move forward, though that Charizard manages to get another back air. It's not going to be landing too much. A rude little tail slap if I've ever seen one to happen. Tiny no longer being able to kind of close his distance in. Very much isn't able to get these grabs or get these slams. Has to just keep spacing, looking for that opportunity, but there's only a trade available as Gray gets dangerously close, able to juke out from the
That was
puff.
terrifying. But Tiny able to retake center stage. Now just going way into Gray's personal space, and they're getting a lot of these little pokes, but they can't find anything concrete. You can see they want this back air so bad, and there's an opportunity, but they're a little over eager. They don't quite connect it in that high pressure scenario. Strong hit in air, puts them right at lead, and they shield that right in position to punish it. Tiny's a stock up.
You're absolutely right. And what's so important about this stock up, meaning that Tiny has so much room to be able to make those errors and kind of force the Ivysaur into some weird spots, but getting some beautiful setup, the Hungry Box special. It seems that Gray doesn't want to let this last for too long, looking to just hit these neutrals, but eventually getting tilted, getting slapped out, now being sought in the air.
The tech chase rest to finish it off. Tiny putting a point on the board for Marquette University here and now. And that was beautiful. Showcasing all of the new technology. They pressure the shield with the jab. That's jab buff for you, baby. And the soft hit in air confirms beautifully into the down air. Like I said, one of the best moves. At low percent, it combos into itself. At high percent, it sets up tech chase situations. And Tiny saw the roll in, and they pulled the trigger. That was all they needed.
I can't believe Tiny. I can hear the machine testing my heart. It goes beat, beat, beat. I was not ready for a rest that clean to end it out. What did I say? So much room. And that's what I think definitely going into that third match, that's only gonna happen again. And I mean, what do you really do against it besides from just shield? It's such an unpredictable move at times.
Yeah. Oh, and they clearly have the knowledge right here. This is matchup experience at its finest. Knowing to run to ledge right there and shield the flare blitz when they try to recover this. Like, look at this. Run right up, running shield. They don't let go of run, so they get the instant shield. And then they jump right up before Charizard even moves, ready to get that strong hit of forward air to finish them off. And obviously, they were at 160 or something. It was still pretty harsh, but still. And again, the way they've edge guarded Ivysaur as well, but this was the play of the match. This right here was the play. They covered a DI in with the forward air anyways, and then they were in position for that tech chase. And I mean, obviously you could just say, oh, just hit the tech, but either way, fantastic stuff from Tiny. We're going to a game 3 right here as Tiny looks to put more points on the board for Marquette. Here in this third game, you could get the turnaround you need. And even though Hawaii still has many strong players, Marquette, if you're able to take down the captain in a style like this, you've got to watch out.
I mean, you said it best. It's going down to the last scenario, the last possible opportunity. Ivysaur versus Jigglypuff instantly going in with the grab. Look at...
They're gone. They're gone. Oh,
they get it back just barely. And I mean, that's luck if I've ever seen one. As Gray now playing on the edge, hoping that the Jigglypuff enters in. And I mean, you don't really want to be giving Tiny that space. I mean, just look as they continue to move forward, though. We do see the leaves managing to break through. Ivysaur is at 71. That's rest percentage if I've ever seen it.
Oh, and landing that meaty hit of back air, knowing that they're not in position right there, but that little tap of down air resets the situation. It's no percent, but it puts a little bit of mental damage, a little bit of chip on the block. Stalling in the air with that Razor Leaf. Now Gray has a little bit more room to work with, but it just keeps being eaten up. This is just like a rolling ball in the air. That's what Jigglypuff feels like. Oh, they use up the tether on that down air, trying to trick Tiny into jumping out for an edge guard, but no, now they're onto the Charizard, because like we saw earlier, one back air at ledge here, that'll just kill them.
You've said it best. The Charizard, though, still here looking to just be careful. They're not really able to get the grabs, but a beautiful slam. What a counter to the Fire Strike. That's just a punish if I've ever seen one, and Tiny looks thrilled to continue playing.
Oh, using that pound to pressure the shield again. The shield pressure has been so good. You had to parry that. It was either that, eat a huge combo, or shield break. None of those were desirable. Perfect defense right now from Gray. They are not looking to be outdone by this lower Pokemon.
I mean, we just see as Tiny being at this high percentage is 100% being a little more cautious, but still is continuing to look for these hits. I mean, as much as Gray has the range, it doesn't matter against a character who is literally flying to your face and then immediately juking away. As we know, Gray is just looking to try to confirm that kill, but Tiny once more just jukes around, making sure to space perfectly, and even then, still manages to come out on top.
Rollout recovery goes unpunished. Unpunishable move right there, as you can see, especially online, as Gray, is that there? Woo. I mean, you can see Grace really slowing the pace of this game down, playing a lot more around their aerials rather than Razor Leaf at this point, probably knowing that they can't confirm into much at 147%, as yeah, they're just waiting for that opportunity where Tiny overextends, they get the up air. Now they're looking for that signature Pokemon trainer low percent damage, but they're sticking on the Ivysaur. They want to be winning out the neutral with these disjointed vine aerials, but now you're off stage without a jump. Ooh, there you go. That was a beautiful switch, but you got out of that. Ooh, but you keep this scenario going.
I mean, it's getting incredibly dangerous. Great. Anytime they get off the stage is now at risk of falling off, but look at this, wanting to try to do it against Tiny, able to get the back tail, and well, Tiny just says, nope, I'm going the other way, get trolled, kid, and then comes back into the fight, but the Charizard is still looking to play that play shit game, looking to try and get that grab and then send them flying off. One good smash could end it for both sides.
I am shocked they went for the grab right there. Tiny's been playing so spot dodge heavy that Gray must have known that they had a mere moment in between that landing and not, as they get the fair out of shield. Now, ooh, going up above the ledge, shield poking Tiny when they went to try and get a punish. That's nice. Air dodge to ledge though, Jigglypuff's best way to get back on there. That's a good way to reset this situation. Slowly retaking this space. The platform is yours now. The ledge is yours now. But it's not yours for long as the tail reaches far beyond your real estate and takes you down.
Look at this. Being able to thrive in this fight, though, at this last stock. Tiny doesn't look to be down on the energy, making sure, looking for that back air solely as a quick way to confirm this kill. However, Gray is now being able to adapt against the floatiness when it comes down to the puff, already looking for just a grab or some way to stop. They both managed to juke each other out, which is the funny part. However, what's not funny is this setup as we see Gray just looking prepared for anything possible.
Yeah, a lot of these fade away, drift away, cross up aerials from Tiny, making it really hard for Gray to commit to a solid punish without having an exact read on the drift. But they don't really need to right now. They're a stock up and they're still getting a lot of trade damage. Oh no! So many times Tiny has punished that Flare Blitz, and Gray, with no fear, catches them in their dash and says, I know you're not hitting this. You're dashing around. You're foxtrotting. And when you're foxtrotting, you do not have immediate access to your shield. And that was the kicker. Look at this. They're dashing back and forth right there, and you need to be in your dash to be able to throw out the shield. When you're caught in the dash like that, you are not able to put out that defensive option, and Tiny paid for that mistake with their life. Look, dash, dash. Oh, you gotta do another dash? No, you're not. No way to put the shield out. You were dead meat right there. There was nothing you could do.
I mean, Tiny's been playing so carefully, and to see it end like that hurts the heart, at least when it comes down to me. Tiny showing so much improvement compared to last week, and you know, I got to cast that match. I'm so happy to get to see the differences shine through, giving a good name for Jigglypuff players all around, but still needing a bit more in the end. Charizard just showing to be the downfall when it comes to that squishy little blob.
No, it is. They get that back air there. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Gray was just incredibly clutch this entire time. I mean, Tiny got their clips. I will say that. Tiny got their clips, and clip with a 3 stars next to it. That was one impressive clip that they had towards the end right there. However, In the end, Gray is the captain for a reason. The University of Hawaii has appointed Gray to this position, not just because of their, I don't know, boyish good looks, I'm not really sure, but also because they are amazingly calm under pressure, able to come back in the first game 3 we've seen.
It was a shining point now. I mean, the lead has been shown as we get closer and closer to the end. You know, I always get confused by the points, but let's say a hypothetical comeback. What would we need to see? What's the storyline now?
You can only drop 2 stocks if you want to tie. Not games, stocks. If you go down to 1 stock like once, you would need to get 2-3 stocks. Like, that is the crucial thing. If you lose 1 game, it doesn't matter. We're done. University of Hawaii has set it up so you need to play an almost perfect game to win. But I have seen perfect games have a comeback, so we'll see what else Marquette has up their sleeve. But again, Hawaii is good at keeping things close. Even in those situations, Hawaii isn't winning with massive 8-point leads and losing. No, Hawaii's a very balanced team. They are not. They're keeping it so close. You saw that. Even Gray was on the fence, on the ropes against Tiny.
And I mean, it's only going to get more difficult as these players are coming back in and having so much room, I guess, to prepare for anything. You know, whether they're getting a drink, getting a pep talk, or they're learning from the mistakes of their, past teammates. They've always been more than ready when it comes down to these fights, and I'm especially excited, I've been saying especially a lot, but mostly because Pyro and Kwaz, they're the next opponents going into the ring.
Now, Kwaz here, or Kwaz, I don't remember, but either way, they are a player to fear. They're on the PT, fighting PT with PT here. However, they're not going up against any of Hawaii's many PTs, no. They are going onto the Duck Hunt Dog, and a very good one at that. Not just good, they are fantastic. A lot of Duck Hunts, like, if you're going to be playing Duck Hunt, you best be very good at them. As I have not seen a Duck Hunt like them in a long time. I mean, I haven't seen many Duck Hunts, period, but like them in particular, they put on a show.
I mean, you're absolutely right, though. Duck Hunt's not one of those characters that I think I'm too used to seeing or relatively even playing. I still like Duck Hunt. Duck Hunt has a lot of interesting ranged abilities and setup that I feel you can get away with more often than not. So it's going to be really nice to see how they try it out, because everything, when it comes down, is going to be one big epic showdown.
Yeah. I mean, Kwaz, it is pronounced Kwaz, by the way, definitely does have the skills. Definitely has the tools, more importantly, to deal with this zoning. It's more setups. I feel like more than being a zoner, Duck Hunt is a trap character. If you get hit by the can in the wrong spot, you might just be shot by a gunman into a frisbee, or clay pigeon rather, and get obliterated. And that clay pigeon is also something you've got to watch out for. That is something in the same vein as Diddy Kong with his banana, where you throw it across the stage, and if you get hit by the right hitbox of it, you might just be set up straight into a smash attack from across the stage. All the way across.
Ooh, you make a great point. Sometimes I think I rely too much on looking at the game rather than the hypotheticals, because sometimes, there are so many characters within Smash, you forget those small, neat details. And going to a map like PS2, I think you're gonna be able to use that very frequently.
Yeah, I'm beginning a button check now. Now, going up against the Duck Hunt, there are a lot of little tricks that you have to be aware of. Like, obviously, we could talk a lot about the gunmen. The gunmen come out in a predetermined order, but, like, you've got to remember what this order is. And I do think it's random which one comes out first, so it's tough to keep track. So it doesn't have that much impact, but it's just so many variables in Duck Hunt. The fact that Duck Hunt has a frame 1 combo breaker is one thing, so Squirtle might have a little bit more difficulty comboing than we have seen in the past. But besides that frame 1 combo breaker in the form of the can, they also have all of these long-range kill confirms and setups. Now, in the neutral, Duck Hunt can be a little overwhelmed. Besides that combo breaker, doesn't really have that much going for it. No hitbox on the up B. Their hitbox is controlling the can as they up B. So we'll have to keep an eye on that.
I mean, you're absolutely right. And that can, as strong as it can be when following up on your opponent, it's not anything like a snake side B. It's way easier to kind of break down, slow down, and, well, once it's thrown out, if it's on the wrong side, then you might as well just let it go. That's going to be the bigger point going in. I feel more than anything what the Duck Hunt is going to have to try their best. I think just to set it up, you know, try to mind game their opponent. Just place it out, be like, oh, I'm ignoring it, and then let it release like a big grenade.
And we'll have to see how they treat this, as it is going to be the matchup on Pokemon Stadium 2. Immediately dropping out. There it is. Cannon center stage and shielding around it. I do like that, using the forward tilt to pressure it. Squirtle's forward tilt is probably one of the best tools for just knocking that can back, because it is something you can interact with if it's not, you know, glowing red.
Yeah, just look. Already throwing the little vines just to make sure that's a possibility. Pyro having to make that space, managing to throw out the disc combo, set themselves up for victory, forcing out that Charizard extremely early. That's when you can tell they are taking this 110% seriously, knocking out the guy in the back, gonna make sure that insurance is not covered here. The poor little Charizard struggling to be able to move in without so much of the spam hitting in, but the Flame Charge misses out just barely.
Ooh, but now they're getting the ladder combo going all the way up to the top, and they read the fall down to the right, finishing them off with a second up air right there. Stalin, oh, I don't care. Ooh, nice little jab lock, though.
Yeah, managing to mess around. Oh! What a slam through! I mean, Pyro just did not have the ability to get back up. So now, see the Ivysaur, unfortunately, getting a bit of revenge at the moment, as Pyro manages to get a good amount of damage set up, looking for that edge guard, but not able to truly secure it. It looks like it's going to be the Ivysaur's return for that pain.
And ooh, the up air sending them straight off the top right there. Pyro struggling a little bit on the landings, which, I mean, like I said, when the can is already out, Duck Hunt doesn't have access to that combo breaker. It's not like Snake where they can usually just pull out another one. No. Very situational, as now they have it here to try and avoid this juggle situation, but they can't quite get down. Falling down with the up air to maybe try and get a reversal right there, but instead they put Quaz above them with the can. Oh, a beautiful switch right there to avoid the up air that time. Quaz is ready.
I mean, they've been trying to go hard as much as possible, and it seemed just using your head was the point that they needed. I mean, I get it, you know, I guess going hard is going hard-headed, you know, like determination. That's kind of the phrase that I'm at least trying to work with.
I mean, with how that went, yeah, they caught the jump. Oh, yeah, they caught the jump right up. Fantastic right there. Probably wearing a heavy helmet right there. There is not a ton. Like, once you get caught jumping right there, you're done. You've lost your one defensive tool. And when it's read out like that, I mean, if they misread that, then you would have probably gotten an up air. But they were still stocks up. They were still doing fine, you know?
Yeah, I gotta agree. Pyro's able to keep up consistently well, though gets caught out at times when they're not really on the stage, and that may be just an issue when it comes down to just the Pokemon trainer having so much control and versatility when it goes down to the characters, but I definitely feel it's just needing to play a lot more carefully.
Yeah, there was, well, a lot of different, like, we saw these setups, we saw the traps, but they weren't enough. At the end, one setup from them was equal to one setup from Pyro was equal to one big old combo from Quaz. So even if you're hitting, and it just takes, well, it's called a setup for a reason. It takes time to set up. You're laying out your trap. You're like, okay, so I leave. You're like in your mind palace. You're like, okay, I leave the can here, and then I throw the clay pigeon, and it knocks them up into the can, which hits them into the gunner's bullet right as the gunner's bullet connects with my up B, and I blah blah blah, and like it does work at times, but sometimes a good old deck to the noggin is way better than all of that, and that's just the unfortunate truth. Like, on paper, these combos are the best in the game, but they just take so much situational material that sometimes you'll just find yourself in a situation where your combo won't work. You know what will work? Squirtle Nair.
Yep. Now, it's time to see if we can get that final moment. Now, just pushing forward. I mean, it's a lot of the setup, and it's a good moment to show managing to hit that can onto the Squirtle, but I mean, look at that, the Squirtle being able to just move forward, come back into the fight as freely as possible, almost as quick as Sonic, but looking to be just as deadly, or even more. Has to go to the Ivysaur, though, solely because of just the damage as well as the range that Duck Hunt has is insane!
Those ladders, though, laddering up with the clay pigeons, those multi-hits racking up so much damage into the up smash that time instead of the up air. At lower percent, that combo is almost deadlier.
You're absolutely right. Now, as we see, just looking to play as carefully as possible, being onto the Charizard, hoping to get that damage out, but I mean, Pyro has stepped it up to a new level. Notice how they are spending a lot of time finally getting the success of the setups, especially when it comes down to the range and combos. But look at this. Oh my goodness!
Yeah, they don't make that back. They do not make that back at all. As soon as you try and throw that can out, you're just obliterated by the down air, and it's disjointed enough where Quaz don't even care. However, they will care about that finisher right there. Now, on your last stock, you've got to do it with this can. Ooh, the forward tilt, though, that's a nice disjoint to get around it.
I do agree, but being at this one stock is no longer looking too good. Pyro, though, being able to come back freely onto the stage, being at this team has the advantage, getting a good set. However, needing to be a bit more careful with their own beans. It's just not working as well. Still, though, being able to have it in the back as a utility forces them to play on one side. But look at this, Pyro wants to go back onto the other, distract them for a little while, then place their teammates, have the beans there as a distraction more than anything. And the poor Ivysaur doesn't know who to focus out.
Yeah, you're finally able to use that get off me tool, and you've taken the can out of the equation for the time being. But if you're too busy focusing on that, you're not going to be ready when, well, the dogs just throw hands. It's like, come on, shake. Like, it's just coming at you. As at the moment, it's been less about the setups and more about controlling the ground, forcing an option from Quaz, and then punishing that option.
I'm definitely a person who loves to see zoning, and this is working out so well. Having the little men on the bottom to shoot, and then you've got your beans at the top, especially with your Frisbee. The poor soul, the poor Charizard has no room to get in. Maybe this is why you weren't in Arceus, because you have no control going up against the dog, as this is one good smash attack away, or one good bomb to take them out.
Yeah, and they need it soon. They need it fast, because otherwise this isn't gonna last. You need to find it, and Charizard, oh my gosh, at max rage, can just obliterate these stocks. But you get the grab, throwing them right into it, but no, the can doesn't connect. You lost your main chance, and now Charizard gets one little tap, but this time you're not gonna miss, right? No! They're missing it again. It's like watching Falco's laser soar harmlessly into the blast zone as they're just looking one of these connections, but trying to smash will extend your hitbox straight into that can.
I mean, that's showing it to bring it back. Duck Hunt making those adjustments and having also not only just an amazing start, but I feel an amazing finish as well. So much damage all at once. The Charizard was not expecting it.
Yeah, not in the slightest, as you're able to... Whoop. There we go. Get that little bit of damage. And again, all you needed was one mistake. And against a character like Duck Hunt, oh gosh, that was a nice 0 to death. Or not 0 to death, but just a nice confirm.
Now when it goes down to the third round, I wonder what type of changes both sides have to make. I mean, just look at that moment. That was a very early on first stop, and it was a beautiful combo. So when you're going back in, I don't think that's very easy to replicate.
Hold on. Did they throw the can up there? Is that what happened and it got spiked back down into them? That was... I didn't even notice that happening in the moment.
Oh, you didn't?
Oh, that hurts. That explains why they weren't ready for it. I was also wondering why it went at a diagonal, too. Okay. Yeah, that's brutal. That's brutal for sure.
I mean, I definitely agree to that. And that's something, at least, that's new for me to see. I'm not used to seeing the duck hunt, especially just look at that moment. That's beautiful. It's the first time we seen it, but now going into the third round, I don't know how easy it's going to be for either side to kind of lead, and I think the duck hunt more than anything has the edge. It's definitely finding their pace the more this fight goes on, while the Pokemon trainer is, you know, finding issues of which character to stick on to kind of go up against.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta go. I mean, that wasn't an uneven game. It just felt like on that stage in particular, they were a little more comfortable with their setups. I mean, obviously, in general, I feel like they're warmed up a little bit more now. Pyro blazing hot, but you gotta remember, Quaz did win game 1, and they won it in a pretty clutch manner, if I do say so myself. So I'm looking to see what else they can bring to the table now that they've got a little more of a glimpse into Pyro's bag of tricks.
You're right. You know, I can see something very crazy coming out. I mean, we've had a spike. We've had something that took the replay to completely notice. We've had upsets. There's one thing we're missing, and that's a comeback, all right? One of these players has that opportunity to make that shine, and I definitely feel that's going to be more in favor for the Pokemon trainer more than anything. I mean, you're the one working kind of at that disadvantage, especially going up against someone who's having so much efficiency when it comes down to the control. Kilo, I think this is going to be one of my favorite matches.
Yeah, it's panning out to be very good, and it's a match you don't get to see very often. Not just this match, but this character in general. So we're going to Battlefield. Oh, I have to imagine with that top platform in play, there's so much more mayhem to be wrought. As we start out just with the simple gunman, trying to zone out. The can's not even in play yet until you control that top platform here. But you don't even need to fight with it for now. You just ignore it, let it linger up there, let it fester. You never know when it's going to be useful. Oh, like that, confirming right there into that up air. They almost stole the stock right there, but Quaz was very wary of that as they got the spike, but at such a low percent, you're not going to kill them quite yet.
I said it wasn't going to be easy to replicate, and I still feel confident on it, but getting close to it was still on the option. Look at that! Poor Pyro is able to get back on the stage, but at what cost? Getting so much damage taken out by their own move. The Ivysaur is just looking to be as aggressive as possible, looking to get rid of their utility, especially the man. Poor soul, not going to have the insurance to get back in, going to the Charizard, hoping to get that damage, but gets shot directly in the chest. Thank goodness Pokemon don't have guns in the world.
As we get this nice little setup, the can is right in position to finish off after that Clay Pigeon. They're going to be taking that stock clean home. Now, once again, this is not a terrible percent to be at. If you're off stage, of course, it's terrifying. But Ivysaur is probably not going to kill you immediately. Charizard might.
I definitely agree, but I mean, this is close to an up smash scenario. Barely getting on to that edge. That's what you're looking for, but your own can managing to get you out, managing to break it through. Not going to be getting too much out of that up smash, actually reaching onto the edge, so it became a safety moment for both of these players. Seems that Pyro's looking to play the long-term game, even if that grab slams down and sends them to oblivion. They're coming right back with the same mentality to goof you up. What a parry, though. Wait, are they going to be able to get back up just barely?
Ooh, and there's the setup, the double spike, the double dip. Setting up after that clay pigeon, Pyro was ready to catch that jump down there. They're like, nah, you're not getting back here, son. As now, look at this, Quaz down a clean stock, and they're taking even more percent, but they're racking it up just in the nick of time. This is the clutch you need. You wanted a comeback? You said the Pokemon trainer might have the tools to do it. This is the tools. This is their chance, but they can't drop it, and Pyro's not going to make it easy for them.
So, I mean, you're absolutely right. And each spot, each fight is getting a bit more intense, just hoping to finish off. What a beautiful hits the can! That explosion does not come naturally, so it had to be the can just being used. And, well, that's good parry to stop the damage from truly coming in. But now this is going down to the wire as both sides tries to get an advantage, looking to make the even ground. But look at this, the Ivysaur going in for the grab, gets that slam, gets the combo, may be able to finish it, just missing out barely.
Quaz is the lead. They were down a clean stock, and now look at them. This might be Pyro crumbling a tiny bit, but they have a chance to get back on. Look at the can on that top platform corner. This is where we saw it before. This is where they got a massive kill earlier. Can they get to confirm this time? No, they're not even bothering to worry about it as they try to cover that top platform. No, play pigeon deflected. Oh, Quaz dashing around, looking for this opening, a forward tilt, a back air, some big meaty move with a tipper hitbox that they can demolish them with, but instead they go off stage, and oh, of all the ways it could end, Pyro plummeting to their deaths. The duck not quite strong enough to rocket themselves all the way up back to the ledge, and that will be Quaz getting some more points on the board for Marquette. I think it is over and out. Hawaii has won this, but Marquette in this little victory does take it home. Oh, they used their wall jump, and they had already used their up B as well. They had no way to get back up there.
My mentals, I think, have been defeated so hard with that fall. I mean, I can't put this onto my favorite list, but I'll definitely put this on one to remember. So intense that even the players in the end couldn't withstand it. No true resolution. However, you are right. That does lead into the victory. As we need to talk about it, you would need to have not lost, a single stock, or at least try your best not to continue thriving forward. Now, go on to the last game. Definitely one to have fun, but still needing those points. Every match is going to matter, even in the end.
Yep. You know it is Quaz happy they're getting that one under their belt. That was hard fought, and that was not a clear victor as well. I mean, yeah, it's got to be. Yeah, I'm thinking it's got to be the captain. Yeah, Spencer coming in from Marquette. It's already a little bit over, but Spencer has something to say about it. Spencer on the Ness. We've seen a decent bit of Ness today. I've seen a lot of different Ness playstyles. One was, I've been watching a lot of Iron Chef. One was the Conjurer of PK Fires. One was the Conjurer of PK Thunder. Like, they're just all masters of one aspect of comboing with Ness. And I'm curious to see what Spencer brings to the table. Going up against DNS? That is a player I'm not, or NNS. I'm not sure I'm quite familiar with them, but we'll get to see them soon enough going up against this Ness.
I mean, definitely agree. Each Ness always interestingly has that different playstyle, which I find so weird. Because I had to pull my hair back. I was so stressed out. Don't look at my forehead. It's a shame that I hold in me. Still, it's surprising to see each Ness always have a different playstyle and always go for a different objective. Some use that absorption a lot more than others. Some rely on the PK Thunder combo just to be able to take a stock. However, some like to use that PK Fire, and that's most. That's me.
Yeah, and I mean, there's some incredible versatility you can get out of that. Like, you can combo PK Fire into PK Fire by jumping up and getting the diagonal one down, and then combo that into another one if you get the right angle. You would be amazed by the techniques that are available with just one move. Like, again, And Ness doesn't even need to do it. With the magnet combos, you generally see Ness getting a little more scrappy than at a range, especially at this level of play. However, when you master that one level of the kit, it adds a whole new dimension of versatility to you.
Ooh, definitely true. However, you gotta give credit to one of Ness's biggest weakness, and that's sometimes how easy it can be to punish the PK Thunder or the recovery. I mean, lower players always struggle with it, but we've seen people here consistently manage to kind of break it down, whether that's, you know, shutting down the ability before it can go through, or forcing a strike, a big pin, anything to make sure that Ness does not get a chance back on the stage. It's happened a lot. It's always been a shining point.
Yeah, I mean, in general, what I'm looking to see is, honestly, if you're going to be the captain, and based on what we've seen from Marquette, I'm looking to see aggression, full-on onslaught from this Ness. Coming in with the magnet combos, and we haven't really seen a very melee-based Ness. Like, all the Nesses we've been seeing have been decently high level, but going into FD, that's going to be a lot less tech chases, and this is Spencer's own choice. They want to go to FD, which means, again, I think PK Thunder is going to have a lot more value when there's no platform mix-ups or anything like that, nothing to interrupt it. So if you send it way high up and you're up against a fast faller, oh, you're going to get punished hard.
I mean, you're absolutely right. It's going to be that big shining part. Now we get to see, truly, will we be right or wrong? I'd like to think right. You know, you're a pretty smart guy, and I'm slowly losing my sanity the more and more I see these players accidentally fall off the edge and perish. It breaks my heart every time.
Yeah, so hopefully we won't be seeing that, as the button check is hopefully coming out soon. Getting the everything all ready. Now, overall, I do just want to say, if Marquette is able to do this, they're going to make the scoreline look a whole lot better. When they're both in double digits, you can definitely feel a lot better about that loss, knowing you kept it close. As Hawaii, again, not a team that wins by leaps and bounds, no. They often find themselves scrapping towards the end. And I'm curious to see, again, NNS is, I believe, a new player in the spring, because I don't remember them at all from the previous split back in the fall.
Definitely right.
We'll have to ask if we... Yeah, I think Hawaii is more or less guaranteed an interview. So if they do get that interview, we'll have to ask about these new talents coming in. But either way, yeah, it sounds like we're getting into it now at last. Perhaps this might just be a button check. Never mind.
No, they've had it. More than anything, they're ready to go against each other. Ness versus Sheik, already going for the grab, using that PK Thunder, as you said, tried the fire, misses out just barely, but then immediately goes for that slam. The poor soul not getting back on to the stage as easily as they were hoping. Luckily able to stop that yo-yo before it did anything big.
And now, ooh, Sheik almost obliterated just by one little back air at the ledge, but now they're feeling a little bit better. You can absorb that? I mean, it makes sense, it's an explosion, but still, Spencer walking away with barely a scratch on them after obliterating that NNS's first stock.
Yep, just seeing, it was a beautiful startup, especially being on such low percentage, showing the capabilities of what that Ness could do, but Sheik is not being able to truly kind of break in that distance, messing up, but able to get that down is going to help, especially with the slashes. With no follow-up, really losing value onto what they shine most on, but the Ness still is not getting too many hits, and the defensive playstyle is working.
Nice little safe pressure on shield before throwing in the needles. Oh, and the rapid jab at ledge as well gives you an opportunity, but you don't want to go too far off stage. You've beaten the jump, though. They try to run down. They're not actually trying to hit Ness there. They're trying to tank that PK Thunder. But Spencer with good control of it to make sure that you're not going to get your recovery stolen by a ne'er-do-well.
I see. Look at that. Looking to go for the yo-yo, but is going to be punished just with a quick neutral. Though not going to be too badly punished. As we see the Sheik able to come back, dodge the yo-yo, look to try to break through. Unfortunately, gets caught out. Easily able to juke all around. But that yo-yo is by far the biggest threat I've ever seen, as it has so much range. And they're using the E beautifully just to be able to land a lot slower, be able to dodge a lot more of these Sheik's damages and stopping themselves from dying. And yet, the PK fire is the one that helps them get the opportunity to look for a kill.
Well, even with that spike, they're not able to find it quite yet. Gonna be slipping right back to ledge. Ooh, a nice delayed recovery to get around that yo-yo, but the back throw, even from the other side of the stage with all that rage, will be the finisher.
I mean, they're still going through. And Spencer with that 130, one good side smash or a good 2 kicks will be able to bring it. But look at that, Spencer almost can read everything as if it's a script on the screen, blocking these hits and making sure to use the PK Fire, PK Thunder as deterrents for being able to move in. However, it's just not enough as you try to go for the yo-yo and you get kicked in the back. But now being at 0, I mean, the poor Sheik, whatever you truly want to call it, is going an uphill battle.
Ooh, just running in with that aggressive nair right there, and a little figure 8 with the PK Thunder saying, okay, come on, this area is occupied. I'm sorry. You're gonna have to wait out there for a while. Cool. Now, forward throw. Oh, no, the back throw. At this percent, oh, they're almost at back throw kill percent.
I mean, you're absolutely right, but more than anything, I mean, they're just at kill percentage.
Yeah, that final hit of dash tech, sparking in just the right spot to obliterate Sheik's stock and NNS. It's gonna go down here for University of Hawaii. By the way, setting in a player named NNS against a Nest player, come on. Like, come on. Don't you ever think of the commentators? Our poor tongues?
Oh my goodness, I agree. You know, give like heart. You know, my cholesterol is going up from this, and I don't know how much more that I can survive because these players, they're always ready to give something new or at least do something a bit more unexpected. I felt right there, the grab was actually going to be the way that the kill, but just walking forward and just getting that hit, you know, most players just tend to block it, but the hesitation was there.
Yeah, and there was a lot of mind games around the recoveries. Oh, yeah. Ooh, just the tiniest bit of ankle was exposed to that little spark right there, and that was enough for Spencer to finish them off. And I was going to talk about the mind games around the recoveries for Spencer was very nice. Normally, Ness is just, you know, they'll throw the yo-yo down. They're like, okay, that's option coverage. And that works for like a lot of matchups. But it didn't really work as much here because in the very first time they tried to do that, they went for a high recovery and actually punished them. But then the second time they tried that again and they went for the magnet and got healed off the recovery. And then after that, they found a way to get the actual yo-yo. So like, it again was just a mind game after mind game after mind game, delayed recoveries and aggressive recoveries. So many different intricacies every single time they tried to recover, but ultimately Spencer was a little bit ahead.
I mean, you're right now. They go in for the second match, and already, once again, going for these grabs. That's not going to be an early stock, helping your opponent get back on the stage. Maybe something you regret, but maybe you just wanted to kill them with style as you use the yo-yo as a way to stop them from getting back on. That's an early stock.
You remember what I said about some Nesses? They just use that yo-yo and they call it quits. Yeah, that's working as they go for maybe the magnet spike, but no. Instead, they're both able to get back to ledge. Don't want to overcommit like that, and I understand that. Instead, use the PK Fire to set up another grab, another offstage situation, and you get the juggle as well. They just can't get out of there. Oh, that down air was arrived just in the nick of time.
I mean, you're right, but look at this. Being at a high percentage, Spencer is still pretty much living on the high life, though almost gets comboed into oblivion. Able to fully come back, looking for that edge guard now, looking to make sure they can't get back on. Gets caught by the recovery, but gets a nice grab to stop. Oh, that slam, that was a big punish, a little bit too predictable. And now Spencer is looking to just be a total menace on this stage. Looking to just fly up, try to hit that neutral PK Fire, able to land correctly. at 162. I don't think they can get to the stage anymore, but look at that. They got a little friendly help.
Well, the back throw, that'll be the finisher. Spencer looking to get a 3 stock, get even more points on the board, 5 more to be precise, as they get that drag down with the fair. Another offstage situation. They just keep setting it up. All they want to do is just grab you and throw you off that. I'm going to grab you and I'm going to throw you. That's them right now. As finally, oh, they're almost able to escape, but they're a little scared of the magnet. They didn't throw out an option because they didn't want to get caught by that hitbox. The nice safe shield pressure, the magnet into the back air under the yo-yo.
I mean, they're able to come back, so they still have a chance to not get 3 stock. The big problem comes is that Spencer is so determined for it. I mean, just look at the PK Thunder usage, able to just freely escape. Dodge, block, hold it. That was toxic. If I've ever seen one, just to look them in the eye and say, this is your end.
3 stocks, barely a scratch on them. Maybe you need a band-aid, but they're gonna walk home just fine. As even though Marquette will lose, it will be their captain, Spencer, putting the scoreline up to 14-17 with that 3 stock. And overall, NNS did put on a good showing when they could get a hit, but ultimately, they spent more of this game off stage than they did on.
I mean, out of all the ways to end it, a 3 stock is almost... It's beautiful, you know? We got to start the series off with a similar way, but to end it like that, I salute you. However,
I salute
now
you
more
as
than
well.
anything, we just get to see the close-up eyes, and now all that's left in the night is a well-deserved interview. Launch it up as we see Evil be thriving. Nessus Sands confirmed.
Woo! Straight off the top right there. Sometimes you just gotta hold him hostage. Sometimes you gotta be like,
yeah.
Now, do you deserve to be in this situation? Are you landing and shielding? Are you doing that? Where's your spot dodging? Come on, you're playing Ultimate. As they call that out, they call out that habit, they get those grabs, they get those kills, and you get those points on the board. 14-17 in favor of the University of Hawaii is going to be our final scoreline. So a little bit close, but University of Hawaii, with the lead they built up in the beginning, are going to be your victors. And we are going to be hearing from them in just a little bit because we're going to get an interview with them. So don't go over the final little bit of content for EGFC. We'll be back in just a few minutes. Welcome back, everybody, to the EGFC. We are here with the coach of the University of Hawaii after their great win, Dark Musician. How you doing?
Doing good. It was a hard-fought win. Credit to Marquette. They put up a great fight down the stretch. If one game had gone one way or the other, it probably would have been their victory today, but I'm glad we pulled it out.
Yeah, and I mean, you mentioned down the stretch. Yeah, they almost came back towards the end, but I've noticed Hawaii tends to be one of the teams that loves to just get an early lead and just sort of slowly push it forward. Is that your doing? Is that your planning?
Yeah, given the way that the format works, I like getting an early lead. So the first couple picks is like pretty huge for us. We're also very momentum based, I think, just as players in Hawaii. So I try to get us off to a good start. We really struggle when we have to make up a deficit. I've come to realize from our matches.
Definitely a big play. So, when going into these matches, especially trying to get them, prepared and ready, what is one of the big points that you're looking for? Is it just like making sure that mentally they're healthy, or maybe they're just having enjoyment out of it?
We try to keep it mostly fun in our team. Serious when we need to be, but we try to keep it very fun and a good learning experience. My ultimate goal is for these players to grow and to become, just more fundamentally sound players, and so they can stay in the scene long term and enjoy themselves, and then by proxy bring in more players later. But yeah, we go over matchups. We usually try to scout the other team if we have footage, and then try to get like what matchups they feel comfortable with, and then we kind of gauge who our lead's gonna be, and then we kind of try to do scenarios like what if they counterpick this with this. So there's a lot of planning that goes into it beforehand. Our analyst team is actually really on it. They do a really good job.
Hey, and that's very obvious by how you're playing, but I have a more general question for you. I know Hawaii, a very self-contained region, but a very good one too. Do you think there's any like defining characteristics of the Hawaii region, like not even just in your team, but like what do your players bring to the table that you think is like really unique?
Our region is probably one of the most like aggressive regions out there, I think, because we don't really have a lot of like big stakes regionals or like huge circuit events to like really force people to play super sweaty. So most of the community here just really wants to have fun and wants to play hype. They want to get the Twitch clips, they want to get the hype combos. And you have some of our best players ever, like Void, who came from Hawaii. His play style is like super flashy, really exciting. So a lot of people look up to him in that way too. So they want to bring the hype too. So I would say that's one of our most unique characteristics, I'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well, you all definitely did bring the hype, and I honestly, I'm very excited to see it because, again, it's just something we don't get to see too often. But speaking of something we don't get to see, a lot of the teams have added new players over the spring break, and you don't have to like give spoilers or anything, but are there any players that like we should like watch out for, or like you really think are like these like diamonds in the rough that you brought onto the team?
Pyro the Duck Hunt. That guy, I've actually known him for a while. He played Smash 4 as well, and we used to play a lot. He was part of the scene. He just joined the team this semester, actually. We haven't actually been saving him or anything, but he is very good with his character. He knows the character inside and out, studies the character. He's a lab monster. And you can see like you can see the Hawaii playstyle in him. Like when he went for that double spike, like he didn't have to go for that, but that's just how Hawaii is, man. It's like, I'm going for it because what if it works, right? Wouldn't it be cool? Yeah.
You'll play alt like it's Nick All-Stars. Like, you're just going in, like, all the time. And honestly, I love to see it. And, hey, it's netting you these wins, so, hey, that's something.
We'll definitely watch out for Pyro. He's super solid. And he's actually been a really big X factor in a lot of our sets. So, also, we brought back Cheese Brain this semester. He was here last year. He had to take a break from school because of the pandemic, but he's back now. He's gotten a lot better. I actually trained with him a lot personally, so I would look out for him too. He has a lot of characters. He's super solid.
Alrighty. Well, with that then, Dark Musician, I'm very excited to see more Hawaii. Based on that performance, I expect we might be interviewing you some more, or maybe some of the other players. But for now, thank you so much for your time, and good luck on the rest of the season.
Yeah, shout outs to you guys. Shout outs to Devin putting in all this hard work. Thank you very much for this opportunity. And yeah, hope to see you guys again. Thanks.
Once again, thank you for the performance. But with that, that's all for our performance tonight. So thank you all for watching on the EGFC. If you like what you saw, be sure to follow official EGF everywhere. And of course, House of 3000 everywhere too, running all of our production. You just heard Dark Musician shouting them out. Best Smash production out there. Be sure to follow them. And hey, if you're an organizer out there, call them up. But also check out my amazing play-by-play caster user at username_Intel, and of course at KiloMiles IRL on Twitter. We both do commentary everywhere for a ton of games, and it would mean a lot to us if you would come and check us out. But for now, I've been KiloMiles, this has been User Intel. I hope you all have a wonderful night. Take it easy out there.